Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I wanted to jump on and talk about intermittent fasting and if you should do intermittent fasting to lose weight. This is something that I know a lot of people try, a lot of women try, and the one big downfall of this is that women oftentimes intermittent fast like men do, which is the wrong way to do it for women. So this I don't want to make this video about intermittent fasting women versus men. If you want me to talk about that, let me know. You can either leave a comment or send me a message or something. I'll do a whole nother video on intermittent fasting for women versus men and talk about that difference. But when we look at intermittent fasting in general, a lot of people are doing this to lose weight and are wondering, is this a good thing I should do? Is this something I should try? And the short answer, the fast answer is yes, it can be. Again, as long as you're doing it for the female body, looking at that physiology specifically. But the other thing is that you need to realize that intermittent fasting is so much more powerful than just a weight loss tool. Now, if you're doing it correctly, applying it at the right times for your system, supporting your body in doing what intermittent fasting does, yes, it can be used for weight loss. That's one of the, we'll say, side effects of intermittent fasting, right? So weight loss. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people will do intermittent fasting and not primarily do it for weight loss tactics. Now, here's the other thing. Here's some secrets about the power of intermittent fasting. If you don't know about this, a lot of people, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna get really skinny, I'm gonna slim down, woo! Awesome, okay, sure. But I want you to realize that there's certain types of intermittent fasting that you can go through, that those effects, once you go through it, those positive effects last in your system for up to 3 weeks. 3 weeks of the positive, that's amazing! Oh my gosh! So of course, doing some positive intermittent fasting for your body, you're gonna get all of these benefits and they're gonna be lasting in your system more than just that day. Now here's the other thing too. So here's the kicker. Because these effects last longer than just that day, right? Again, these are these things that we're thinking, I'm fasting, right? I'm doing this because this is how women should be doing the fasting, not like men, but like women. I'm fasting, so I should be feeling it that day or even the next day. Right? Okay, yeah. But here's the thing, is that if you start fasting and you may not notice the big change while you're doing it, right? Like the first day on a diet, you're like, is this doing anything? You're not gonna lose weight on day one. That's not how it works, right? But 3 weeks later is where you're really getting that full benefit. 3 weeks later, it's had a chance to really marinate in your system. But who's excited about it 3 weeks from now? Not a lot of people, right? Not a lot of people. So you have to compound everything. I always talk about this. Your health is cumulative. Your results are cumulative of everything you've been doing. It's not just this one-off thing. So it's the same thing for intermittent fasting. A lot of people might get frustrated. If you don't feel good while you're doing this, you're not doing it correctly for your body. If you have more questions on this or want to know more about the 12-week challenge that I have coming up that we're starting January 6th, I put a link right there in the comments. You can click that link, schedule your free call to learn more about that, about how I teach women how to intermittent fast and incorporate an entire nutrition program for the female physiology. Game changer, complete game changer. But so when looking at intermittent fasting for your body in general, really make sure it's the right thing for you. Really understand the timeline of effect that you're gonna get from it. You might wake up the next day like feeling skinny. Feel so skinny today. I fasted yesterday. I'm feeling good. Yay. Woo. Cool. Yay. But that's not a real result. Again, that comes at least 3 weeks later from that first day of doing it. And some of those real results are not just weight loss. You have to compound everything together. It's not how many times are you fasting, right? You shouldn't be doing this every day, by the way. This is something that's timed out and everything. Carrie's saying, interested in the challenge. Yes. So Carrie, right there in the comments, you can click on that link, schedule your call. It's a free call to learn more about you, your goals, and if this would be a good fit for you. But so it takes that cumulative effect. So if you're looking at the span of, let's say, 3 months, I do a 12-week program. I do it 3 months because that's how long it takes hormonally for your body to shift. That's a hormone cycle. It is. So when you're looking at that, a 12-week period of time, it's how many times are you intermittent fasting in that 12 weeks? How many times are you going through and doing that? How many times are you doing that to build up and get that benefit? And again, that weight loss benefit that you're getting is not necessarily the first benefit that you notice. Yeah, one of the first things that people notice, yes, this is, again, a positive side effect of intermittent fasting. One of the first things that, though, you may notice is gut health. A gut health improvement. What intermittent fasting does, and even intermittent fasting, how women should do it, what it does to your gut is it allows it to rest and repair and regenerate those cells at a completely different level. Your gut is very, very dynamic. A lot of people call it the second brain, all that stuff. And the one thing that's really important that you understand about it is when your gut, because the first layer in your gut, it gets refreshed every 5 minutes. I mean, half of what you excrete is cells from your gut. It's doing so much. Yeah, half your poo is your intestines, the cells from your intestines. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Your gut has a lot to do, and then it has to repair itself and everything else. Now, if you're not going to the bathroom every day, your body doesn't get to refresh that as it should, right? You should, right? You should go through that, right? Oh, okay. You know what, Carrie? I'm not sure why it's not working. You can also go to my website, which is www.drbethwesty.com. and schedule there, or I'll make sure I connect with you on Facebook as well. I don't know, that link should work. I don't know. I'll check it though when I'm done with the video. But so gut health, right? So let me draw a picture. Let me draw a picture of gut. So this is your gut, clearly, obviously, right? It's like a tube, right? So the inside, you have all this layer of cells, and then the food moves through here, right? So these layers of cell, that first layer gets refreshed really quickly and easily, but it's those deeper layers where oftentimes if you have an issue, that's what needs to be repaired. If you have leaky gut, if you have a lot of bloating, a lot of gas, if you're constipated, or if you have diarrhea, either one, it's a signal that your body's telling you, hey, something's not right. And you should be going to the bathroom every day. This is an important part about letting your body get rid of all the stuff it needs to get rid of on a regular basis. Otherwise, especially hormonally, your system can reabsorb a lot of that excess hormone. So for gut health, to let your body really rest, really let it rest, really let some of those deeper layers repair. Oh my gosh, completely different ball game. Totally different. Game changer. So again, one of the first side effects people notice from intermittent fasting is that their gut improves. It's not like a night and day difference, like, oh, I went from it was terrible and now it's 100% better. No, it might be like, oh, you know what? I'm less bloated the next day. I have less heartburn. Maybe it's only 10% less. I've had women that I've worked with, they've been like, oh my gosh, it's like 50% less. It's so much better. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, right? That's still progress to be made, though, from there. But this is literally one of the first side effects that women notice from intermittent fasting. It's not that weight loss, even though, of course, if you step on the scale the next morning because your gut just doesn't have the same stuff in it, the scale's going to say you're lighter. It's not true weight, though. You didn't really burn fat just like that, right? It's more the gut health piece of it that you'll notice. Now, from this, too, another positive side effect. This one's also really hard to notice right away as well, but it is a thing. Your immune system lives in your gut. So when you're doing intermittent fasting, especially when you're doing it regularly and you're improving your gut health, you know what else improves right off of this? Your immune system. Isn't that cool? I think it's very cool. I think it's amazing that your immune system improves because you're doing intermittent fasting. Fasting has been around for, thousands of years in a lot of different cultures because it actually provides the human body with all these different benefits, right? It's only trendy now because people are like, oh, look, it's a weight loss tool, blah, blah, blah. Sure. Yep. Yeah. But even if you're at a healthy weight or a goal weight for yourself. How do you stay there? That's a big thing too. How do I stay at my healthy weight? How do I make sure my body's functioning the way that it should? Intermittent fasting is still part of a lifestyle that you can adopt so that you get those benefits and you keep them. Again, how long? How long? 3 weeks. 3 weeks once you go through intermittent fasting. Again, a lot of people will think, oh, I'm doing some fasting now, and then I'm going to do fasting, maybe next month or whatever. Sure. Yeah, that's totally fine, right? It's not just a fad thing. It's not just something, for swimsuit season. This is something that it helps your body rejuvenate. It helps everything regenerate completely differently. There's been studies that have been done that show that intermittent fasting set off certain triggers to help your cells create better cells, right? It's all about DNA and replication, all this other cool nerdy stuff that I don't need to talk about. The other really fun thing that it works with, besides weight loss, now this has to deal with metabolism, everything else, even things like your blood sugar and hormone regulation. Now I say that kind of lightly because this doesn't mean, this is where sometimes I get frustrated when people are like, oh look, intermittent fasting regulates your hormones. And I'm like, really? That's such a flippant, answer out there. It doesn't give people enough information in terms of what do you mean by hormone regulation, right? Well, in terms of blood sugar, there's certain hormones that regulate your hunger, your satisfaction, everything else, and then that keeps your blood sugar levels even throughout the day. And by doing regular intermittent fasting, again, intermittent fasting for women, it can help your system create and produce the right hormones for maintaining your blood sugars, for helping your body feel hungry and feel satisfied at the right times. I mean, how many times have you woken up in the morning and maybe not felt hungry at all, and it's 10 o'clock at night and you're rooting around in the fridge like, I gotta eat something. My body feels hungry. That's not a normal time to be hungry. No, your system's off. It's not about willpower. It's not about any of that other stuff at that point. It is about your body's systems, your hormones, the regulations, everything, these checks and balances, hi Patty, that are supposed to be there are off, and they can be helped to be reset correctly through some intermittent fasting patterns. Now again, my one warning with this is that doing this for a day, no. Doing this for a week, right? No, this is like I said, the 12-week challenge that I have, I work with women for 12 weeks and we work together over that period of time so that by the end of the 12 weeks, we've had enough cumulative intermittent fasting times so you see and feel and notice these effects, a lot of these positive effects by the end of it. And then you know how to continue with it. Because to maintain, that's another thing too, the maintenance is big deal. That says maintenance. It's really sloppy. How many of you have ever gone on a diet though, gotten to your goal weight, and then completely rebounded in the other direction? And then felt like, crap, I ruined it. Or this diet didn't work at all because I lost the weight and now I gained it all back again. It's not that the diet didn't work. It wasn't a diet that you could sustain. It wasn't a lifestyle you could sustain in a healthy and normal way. That's why intermittent fasting is getting all this buzz right now, because people can manage to do it in busy lifestyles, around workouts, around family, around holidays and travel and all of these things, and get all of these different benefits from it. There's still more benefits to this, but these are just a few of the things that women notice right away versus later. So I don't want you to get frustrated if you're like, yeah, I tried it for a couple of weeks and it didn't really work for me. It's for some women, especially if you have bigger hormonal issues, if you have gut issues, it's going to take more repair, more underground work for you to be able to do intermittent fasting and be like, oh, look, there we go. There's the weight loss. Oh, it's like it's falling off of me now. So easy. Yeah, so easy because you built a new foundation for yourself. Yes. Patty's saying, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with my blood sugar levels and releasing baby weight off. I'm guessing I need to intermittent fast frequently. Ooh, yeah, blood sugar, yeah. So, okay, so a couple of questions. Somebody asked about how many hours of intermittent fasting. Okay, in 22 months postpartum. Okay, I'm gonna answer these couple of questions really, really quickly because they're very important. There's different types of intermittent fasting. I'll do a video tomorrow on more on intermittent fasting if you know, because there seems to be a lot of questions on this. I'll do a video tomorrow on women versus men on intermittent fasting because that's an important distinction there, on hours or types, right? Because we're also looking at a full 24 hours versus a daily. This is like a 1 day versus a daily pattern. Those are two different patterns, two completely different patterns. And it's important to recognize, okay, yes, one is separate from the other and they have different timelines and they have different effects on your system. There are some women who they've tried doing a 24-hour fast, like a 1 day fast, and they get sick halfway through, they can't make it. Your system is too sensitive for it. Your system is not ready. There's too much upheaval. Not the right one. That doesn't mean that you can't slowly tiptoe and step into it. It just has to be done in a different and very, very, very supportive way. Very supportive way. The other thing too, if you are nursing, not the time to do intermittent fasting. So no if you're nursing. I'm sorry this is so messy for those of you that are just joining us now. Probably like, what is all this jibber jabber up here? No intermittent fasting if you're nursing. But if you are, okay, not nursing, perfect. If you are postpartum, there's still a lot of healing that happens in deeper levels, and you get a whole new body when you have a baby, right? Your body changes in ways that it never goes back. Ever. Yay, babies. It is what it is. So that's what we get to, that's what we get to do. But when we're looking at regulating blood sugar, there's a few things here that can help as well as this. If you're looking at intermittent fasting to just help with blood sugar, not enough, right? For the blood sugar issue, things like fats in the morning, in the AM, that says AM right there. AM, that is really, you can't see that. That's terrible. Fats in the AM, that's gonna set your blood sugar up for success starting for the rest of the day. And then the second most important thing to do is protein pace. So these are all things I teach women how to do. And again, what I do is for each gal, again, the link is in the comments. Click that link, or you go to my website, which is drbethwesty.com. Reach out to me, even send me a message. Send me a message or an email, drbethwesty@gmail.com, right? There's just so much stuff for women, right? This is what I help you figure out and do. This is the type of thing I do in the 12-week challenge, where women are like, oh my gosh, I need this. Maybe I need to do more intermittent fasting because I'm having trouble losing weight and my blood sugar's off. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe I just need to do more of it. Well, if it's blood sugar and weight, a lot of times let's look at the blood sugar first, because it's not about the weight first necessarily when there's another issue there. That's why when I focus on hormones and getting your metabolism just healed, the weight comes off. So for blood sugars, get your fats in the morning and do protein pacing. And then you add in that intermittent fasting as a support layer. Game changer. Game changer. Your sugar cravings, your blood sugar levels will even out really quickly, or they should. And if they don't, then there can be some other things that we look at in terms of support that your system may need. Is your sleep okay? Is your stress okay, right? These are all their layers of things to go through to make sure your system can actually do intermittent fasting like it needs to do. Yes. Does intermittent fasting help with insulin resistance, leptin resistance? Yes! Oh my God, Angela, I'm so excited that you just asked that. Yes. Getting nerdy with the phrases. I love it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The hormone regulation, right? The leptin and ghrelin. Leptin and ghrelin are the hormones that regulate your hunger and satisfaction. And that's what this helps regulate. Again, doing this once, no. But like I said, over 12 weeks, When you do it regularly in a timed fashion, support the female physiology, support your system the right way, and then going through it, it's a cumulative effect. It's hard to look at, I've been doing this for 3 weeks. Is it working? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm struggling. Ugh. If you're depleting your system, you're going to fall off from there and you're not going to get anywhere. If you're supporting your system, you're able to go through. Maybe at that first 3-4 week mark, you're like, I don't feel like I'm going towards like the weight loss goal, but I feel better. I'm not bloated anymore. I'm sleeping better. I'm not having any more sugar cravings. I'm not up at night, just eating dried cereal from the bag, from the box, like, right? Yeah, that's totally different. I'm starting it for a lot of women. If they're not hungry in the morning, that's a warning sign. Something's off. You should be hungry in the morning. If you're not, something's wrong. Yeah. Some of you might be like, damn it. No. Yeah. So going through that 12 weeks of time really helps you get a good picture on, okay, here we go. Here's what I've done. And here's the things that are shifted and changed. And then you have a different body then. And you have tools to keep you going from there. Yes. Okay. So, really, really, really good questions. I love this. Okay. Let me scroll back. There's a couple more questions I missed. Okay. Yes. So again, these are the things that I cover with women. Again, the link is in the comments, or go to drbethwesty.com. If for some reason that link isn't working, I'll double check the link. Okay. Someone else is asking, are there still openings for the self-guided? Yes, there are. Yes. If you were on my wait list, so I do have the 12-week program that I work with you one-on-one. I help guide you individually, but there's also a self-guided option where you get all the same info, all the same content. You get emails, you get videos, it's a lot. It's still a lot. And if you have questions, you can still email me. You just don't have calls with me, and I don't create a tailored program for you. But I'm still available as a resource, yes. So, absolutely, there are still openings in the self-guided 12-week program. Oh, yes. Okay. So she does 16-hour intermittent fasting 3 days a week. Just found out last week. Pre-diabetic. Ooh, yes. Pre-diabetic, asthmatic, endometriosis, high cholesterol, put on 50 pounds in 6 months. Yeah. So this is a really common thing, right? That you have all of a sudden, it's like everything goes to crap and you feel like crap and you're like, what's going on? And then your body in a response, 50 pounds in 6 months. I'm not exaggerating when I say, like, I've heard that from a dozen women in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, it is way more common than you think, because your body is like, oh, everything is going wrong. I need to survive. I need to, protect myself. And it holds fat. Trying to protect you. Yeah. There's even specific pathways. When I look at, I'll just go through all my Dutch test stuff here. So I do Dutch testing too. I know this is getting to be a long video. I hope you guys are okay with that. Dutch testing, right? I have info on this on my website as well. This tests the entire hormone pathway. And there are certain pathways that if some of these levels are higher than others, it's a protective pathway. It literally, your body's hormones tell me that, right? And then you'll have all this other inflammation. You'll have all these other issues as well, right? When something goes wrong, it's usually not just one thing. It's this whole myriad of things, because your body is trying really hard to protect itself. And part of that is usually putting on weight and then keeping it, holding on to it. And it'll ruin things like your blood sugar levels. It'll ruin things like your gut health. And then you gain the weight and everything else, right? And for a lot of women too, they'll be like, I tried intermittent fasting and it didn't really help. I didn't really do anything. Well, you probably weren't doing it for a female. You're probably doing it how men do it. You probably weren't doing the right type that's actually supportive for your body specifically. Because a lot of times if you have a lot of things going on like that, I'll make a recommendation for you to start one versus the other for your body to start to see that success and to start to have the right kind of repair at first. It makes a big, big difference there. Yes. Okay, good. Crystal's asking, does intermittent fasting help with, I don't know what that, is that an L or an H or IH? If you can type that out for me. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's a really frustrating thing though. And this is something that I'll do more about this. I'll talk more about this week because this is a really big topic. This is a really popular thing that a lot of women are jumping into. And some women just seem to, oh, here we go, right? Oh, that's great. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. And some women are like, what? I'm not noticing this benefit at all. This is terrible for me. Yeah, your body might not be ready for it. So the other thing is that I've actually helped women get their system even to a point where you can do intermittent fasting successfully. That's a whole different thing too. Because there's someone like, it's like, you're so much of a hot mess. You can't even get there. And that's okay. You know, it's all about where you're at, right? Get to the right starting line and then go from there. Okay, Crystal's saying idiopathic intracranial hypertension. Oh. So to be totally honest on that one, I don't think I've ever seen any studies that mention intermittent fasting helping with that condition specifically. Yes. I have a good friend of mine that is a brain specialist. I will ask her. But I don't believe that there's any evidence. That's not to say that the intracranial hypertension, if there's a lot of inflammation in your system and it's feeding into that hypertension, right? Okay. But if you can do things to decrease inflammation, and this is one of them, you know, I don't know, as long as it's not contraindicated with anything else you're doing, right? That's one thing to double check on. Yes. Yes, but that's a really good question. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Okay. This has been, I got kind of on a tangent, you guys. I got kind of on a tangent with some of this I was talking about. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Crystal, I'll ask my friend. Okay. So, talked about a lot of stuff. Let me know, you guys, if you have any other questions on this. Again, this is something that I am really passionate about educating women on because, again, there's so much information out there, but if you notice, a lot of the people talking about intermittent fasting are dudes, and they're talking about intermittent fasting for other dudes. Guys, males, right? So then when women follow a plan that's meant for men, we're not as successful, and then we think we did something wrong, and we blame ourselves, when really, we're just following a plan that's not meant for our body physiology, right? So let's stop doing that. Let's just stop doing that completely. So I'm going to do more and talk about intermittent fasting, men versus women, different hours and types of intermittent fasting, and some different places to look at starting. Again, other resources I have for you, my website. We are starting the next 12-week challenge soon. So you can click the link and sign up for a free call. If you, for some reason that doesn't work, send me a message. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and we can absolutely connect. I'll make sure that you get your call scheduled because it is a free call. Resources. My YouTube channel is Dr. Beth Westy. You can subscribe to that to stay updated on everything I release. My podcast is The Female Health Solution. I have my book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon, talking all about nutrition and foods that match your hormones and your cycle. I do talk about intermittent fasting in here. I also talk about carb cycling. I also talk about the history of nutrition and how it's set up for men and not women and all these things. And then I have a book for women in menopause. I actually have a completely separate program for women in perimenopause and menopause. So if you're like, well, I'm in menopause, how does this affect my cycle? I don't know. I don't have one anymore. Aha! But if you're in menopause, you really need to do nutrition differently because your system, it's a new body then, and you need to provide the right nutrients for that new body. So that's on Amazon as well. All right, that's what I got for you guys tonight. Oh, such good questions. Please let me know if you need anything else. Ooh, another last good question is intermittent fasting good right before a menstrual cycle? Okay, so I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting, and I'll write this down up here too. And hormones, I'll write it up in blue. I'm going to talk about that in my video tomorrow. So set a timer or subscribe to me on YouTube so you get updated when that video gets uploaded if you don't catch my live tomorrow or don't stalk me enough on social media to find me tomorrow. I know you guys can't see this, but my son is right behind the camera making faces at me right now. Yeah, such a stinker, I tell you. Tell you. Okay. So I will talk about more intermittent fasting stuff tomorrow because that's a bear of a question. It's a good question, but not something I want to go over too lightly. Yes. So that's what I got for you tonight. Please let me know if you have any more questions. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here as a resource. I love making sure women have the right information there for their bodies, their health. And if you found this helpful, I would love and appreciate you clicking that share button. Share this with other people you know. Share it in a group that you're in. Share it with somebody who's been struggling, right? Because there's so many things in here that are just, I feel like the tip of the iceberg for women. The tip of the iceberg. And the more we know and the more we can share this info, the more other women get the right info for their bodies, right? Not the male body, the female body. So I'm going to go. He's still making faces. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow, which is New Year's. So I'll probably do my video in the middle of the day. Yes, so look for it midday, because a lot of times I'll do them at night, but I'll do it midday tomorrow. Okay,